Wake up, rise up, Mell, be on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power, let the doubt unwind. Kickstart your soul, let your purpose shine. She don't just talk, she sparked the flame from 7 to 8. She runs the game, Jamaica to New Orleans and all the world. The vibe don't sleep. Mell B drop gems while the world counts sheep. No fluff, no cap, just facts and fire. Affirmation flow that lifts you higher. Wake up, rise up, Mell B on the line. News, weather, truth, she delivers on time. Affirm your power.
Grand rising, my beautiful kings and queens, and everybody who's hitting that snooze button for the third time. It's your girl Mell B live on Lux Radio Network, and it is, what's today? It's Hump Day, January 7th. So we're officially on top of the hill. It's Wednesday. So they call it Hump Day, but we call it Power Day. So we're refueling our fire to finish this week strong. All right, on to our affirmation for today. And I read, my peace is my power. I refuse to trade my internal calm for external chaos. I am navigating this day with ease and divine flow. Midweek is usually high stress. This affirmation serves as an emotional shield. It reminds you, kings and queens, that peace isn't just a feeling, it's a tactical advantage. When you stay calm, you make better decisions and you don't let the hump day energy drain your battery. All right, on to our word of the day. And it is, it's going to get me. It is perspicacity. I don't know why I picked these words, but it's I'm having a morning already. Perspicacity. Okay. Anyway, it's the quality of having ready insight, mental shrewdness, and clarity, for which I don't have any this morning to be able to pronounce my words. So use perspicacity. I just thought I'd make y'all laugh this morning. But just make sure that you see your day through and stay locked into your goals. I'm gonna get that word before this show is over. I'm gonna tell you. All right, on to our phrase origin of the day. It is straight from the horse's mouth. Getting information directly from the highest authority or source. So in the early 1900s, horse traders and gamblers would check the horse's teeth or their mouth to determine if its true age and its health. So no matter what the seller said, the horse's mouth told the exact truth. All right, on to our news of the world today, starting with New York. The MTA officially launched the Next Gen Transit Hub pilot program using AI to provide real-time precision arrival data for over 200 bus routes across the 5 boroughs. New York's event of the day is Bingo Night at the Bloomingdale Library. A free community social gathering with prizes and materials are provided. Los Angeles. The Port of Los Angeles announced a multi-billion-dollar green hydrogen initiative aimed at making the facility the first carbon-neutral shipping terminal in the U.S. by 2030. LA's event of the day is Dreamers and Doers at the MLK History and Craft Day at the Sunkist Library, a family event of exploring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through crafts. Chicago Public Schools, or CPS, unveiled a new universal vocational training curriculum for high schoolers, emphasizing tech-based trade skills like cybersecurity and drone maintenance. Chicago's event of the day is Real Ones Read, Cemetery Boys, at the West Loop Branch Library, a community book discussion exploring identity and magic. That was with the book. Atlanta. The Beltline project hit a major milestone, securing federal funding to complete the full 22-mile loops foundation paving 2 years ahead of its original schedule. So today in Atlanta, their event is Dogwood Lego Club at the Dogwood Library, a creative building challenge session for children and families. Houston Methodist Hospital debuted a new robotic surgery wing featuring the latest telesurgery technology that allows specialists to operate on patients in rural Texas remotely. Houston's event of the day is light and sound immersion meditation in the Buffalo Bayou Park Cistern, a meditative experience held in the reverent historical chambers. Washington, D.C. The Department of Education proposed a new digital literacy grant for 2026, aimed at providing high-speed internet subsidies to low-income college students nationwide. Washington, D.C.'s event of the day is the Generative AI for Society and Workplace Symposium, a professional gathering exploring how AI is reshaping productivity and innovation. Miami-Dade officials announced a partnership with tech firms to install smart reefs, artificial structures that use sensors to monitor ocean acidification and fish health in real time. Miami's event of the day is Padel and Pickleball Nights at the Michael Ann Russell Jewish Community Center, a popular weekly social sporting event for young professionals. Tampa. The city of Tampa approved a major redevelopment plan for the North Downtown District, which includes a new pedestrian-only plaza and a 10-acre urban park. Tampa's event of the day is Human Trafficking Awareness Symposium at Tampa General Hospital, an educational event focused on community identification and prevention. Newport Richey. Good morning, Dad. Pasco County unveiled its 2026 Coastal Resilience Plan, which includes the construction of new hybrid seawalls that integrate national and natural mangroves with traditional concrete. Newport Richey's event of the day is Silver Sneakers Boom Move at the Recreation and Aquatics Center, a high-intensity dance workout designed to improve community cargo health. Milwaukee. Good morning, family. The Milwaukee River Walk extension was officially opened to the public, connecting three previously isolated neighborhoods to the city's waterfront district. Milwaukee's event of the day is Milwaukee Murder Mystery, Death in the Shadows at the UW Milwaukee Welcome Center, an interactive community clue gathering event. Vancouver. The Port of Vancouver reported a record-breaking fiscal year for 2025, largely due to a surge in sustainable grain exports and new green tech shipping routes. Vancouver's event of the day is Acting Workshop, Introduction to Foundations at Actarium Training, a beginner-friendly community session on authenticity and connection. Toronto. Toronto City Council approved a new empty workspace tax for 2026, building owners to convert vacant commercial offices to residential housing units. Toronto's event of the day is Trans and Non-Binary Career Connections at Sherburne Health, a career mapping workshop and networking event. Bless up, Jamaica. Kingston. The Jamaican government launched a national agri-tech initiative providing drone mapping services and climate-resistant seeds to small-scale farmers in the Kingston outskirts. Kingston's event of the day is the Calabash Literary Festival, or anticipation event, Community reading groups across Kingston are meeting in preparation for the upcoming main festival. Montego Bay. A new solar-powered desalination plant has commissioned in St. Thomas, promising a 40% increase in freshwater capacity for the Montego Bay Tourism Corridor. Montego Bay's event of the day is the MACS International Conference, a gathering of global scholars discussing social movements and civil society advocacy. Ocho Rios. The St. Anne Heritage Restoration Project announced a completion of several historic site renovations aimed at diversifying the area's tourism offerings. Their event today is Private White River Bamboo Rafting, a community-led excursion focusing on limestone massage traditions and river ecology. Negrille's Chamber of Commerce proposed a 2026 plastic-free zone for the West End, banning single-use plastics in all hotels and restaurants by the end of the year. Negrille's event of the day is Stepping High Festival, a celebrated cultural event showcasing local heritage and traditional music. Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands Monetary Authority issued new 2026 guidelines for virtual asset service providers, positioning the territory as a leading hub for regulated crypto finance. Cayman Islands event of the day is Cayman Cookout 2026 Preview, local restaurants hosting tasting events leading up to the island's premier culinary festival. Nassau, Bahamas. The Bahamas Department of Marine Resources launched a lionfish extradition bounty program for 2026, paying local divers to help protect native coral reefs. Nassau's event of the day is Junkanoo Parade at Marina Village, a vibrant costume celebration featuring traditional goatskin drums and cowbells. Nigeria. The Nigerian federal government announced a major power sector overhaul, including a partnership with private firms to stabilize the national grid via decentralized solar hubs. Nigeria's event is the International Conference on Healthcare Safety, a professional and community gathering focused on risk management in local hospitals. And Ghana. President Nana Akufo-Addo addressed the nation for Constitution Day, emphasizing the need for continued democratic stability and economic diversification in 2026. Ghana's event is the Constitution Day public celebration, a national public holiday featuring community parades, educational workshops, and cultural performances in Accra. All right, on to our weather. All right, New York, partly sunny with a west wind at 15 miles an hour with a high of 48 and a low of 34. Los Angeles, sunny with a west wind at 7 miles per hour with a high of 64 and a low of 48. Chicago, sunny during the day, becoming cloudy at night with a high of 40 and a low of 34. Atlanta, cloudy throughout the day and night with a high of 67 and a low of 49. Houston, mostly cloudy with a south wind at 8 miles per hour with a high of 79 and a low of 65. Washington, D.C., sunny with a west wind at 11 miles per hour with a high of 56 and a low of 34. Miami, sunny with an east wind at 7 miles per hour, high of 76 and a low of 66. Tampa, partly sunny, turning mostly cloudy at night with a high of 76 and a low of 59. Newport Richey, partly sunny during the day with a high of 70 and a low of 59. Milwaukee, sunny, becoming mostly cloudy at night with a high of 39 and a low of 32. Vancouver, snow expected with a 75% chance during the day with a high of 39 and a low of 35. Toronto, cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 36 and a low of 32. Kingston, rain expected with a 65% chance during the day with a high of 79 and a low of 76. Montego Bay, sunny with an east wind at 11 miles per hour with a high of 82 and a low of 72. Ocho Rios, partly sunny during the day with a high of 79 and a low of 70. Negrille, sunny with a 40% chance of rain with a high of 81 and a low of 76. Cayman Islands, Sunny with an east wind at 16 miles per hour with a high of 80 and a low of 79. And the Bahamas. Sunny with an east wind at 7 miles per hour with a high of 76 and a low of 72. Nigeria. Mostly cloudy with a southeast wind at 5 miles per hour with a high of 92 and a low of 68. And Ghana. Partly sunny with a south wind at 6 miles per hour with a high of 98 and a low of 76. Grand Rising, Ray. All right, on to our sports. In the NBA final scores from yesterday, we have the Cavaliers over the Pacers, 120 to 116. The Wizards over the Magic, 120 to 112. The Grizzlies over the Spurs, 106 to 105. The Timberwolves over the Heat, 122 to 94. The Lakers over the Pelicans, 111 to 103. And the Mavericks over the Kings, 100 to 98. Games tonight, there are a few. So starting with the Nuggets and the Celtics, tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they will be on NBC Sports Boston, KTVD 20, and ESPN. We also have the Raptors and the Hornets at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll be on FanDuel Sports Charlotte and TSN. We have the Bulls and the Pistons at 7 also on Chicago Sports Network, FanDuel Sports Detroit. Wizards and the 76ers at 7 o'clock on Monumental Sports Network, NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Pelicans and the Hawks are at 7:30. They will be on the Gulf Coast Sports, FanDuel Sports Southeast. We also have the Magic and the Nets at 7:30. They'll also be on FanDuel Sports Florida and Yes Network. We have the Clippers and the Knicks at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on MSG, FanDuel Sports SoCal, and NBA TV Canada. We also have the Suns and the Grizzlies at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll be on FanDuel Sports Memphis, KTV, K3 TV, and Arizona's Family Sports. Next up, we have the Jazz and the Thunder at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be on FanDuel Sports Oklahoma and KJZZ 14. Lakers and the Spurs are at 9:30 on ESPN, Spectrum Sports Network, and FanDuel Sports Southwest. We also have the Bucks and the Warriors at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be on FanDuel Sports Wisconsin and NBC Sports Bay Area. And last, we have the Rockets and the Trailblazers will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on KUNP Rip City TV Network and Space City Home Network. Ooh, that was a mouthful. All right, on to our daily feature, which is Women in Business Wednesday. Today, we are spotlighting Miss Melissa Butler, the founder and CEO of Lit Bar. By it being Women in Business Wednesday, this is the day we honor the women who are shifting culture, building legacy, and proving that brilliance and boldness look good on us. So today's spotlight is on a woman who turned rejection into revolution. A woman who took a simple idea, beauty without boundaries, and built it into one of the fastest growing cosmetic brands in the country. I'm talking about Miss Melissa Butler, founder and CEO of Lit Bar. Now, here's the educational piece. Research in consumer behavior show that when Black women create products for themselves, they don't just fill the gap, they expand their entire industry. Melissa did exactly that. She started the Lit Bar in her Brooklyn kitchen, mixing vegan, cruelty-free lipsticks by hand because she was tired of beauty standards that didn't include women who would look like her. She took the vision to Shark Tank and got rejected on national TV and still kept going. And here's what the data tells us. And entrepreneurs who persist after public rejection are statistically more likely to build long-term success because they develop what psychologists call resilient self-efficiency, the belief that we can win even when others don't see it yet. Melissa believed, she built, and today the Lit Bar is sold in thousands of stores nationwide, including major realtors like Walmart, Target, and others. She didn't just create a brand, she created representation. She created access also. She created a blueprint for every woman who's ever been told her ideas were too niche or too bold. So here's your takeaway from this morning. Don't let someone else's limited vision shrink your purpose. If Melissa Butler can turn a kitchen experiment into a multi-million-dollar beauty empire, imagine what you can build when you stop waiting for permission. Melissa, we see you, we honor you, and today we celebrate the beauty, the brilliance, and the business you bring to the world. Ashe. All right, on to our book club. We are still reading The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. And today we are on chapter 8, which is Professional Education Discouraged. Woodson explains how Black people were systematically discouraged from entering professions that would strengthen their communities. He reveals how schools and institutions pushed Black students away from medicine, law, engineering, and business, steering them instead toward labor roles that maintained the racial hierarchy. Even when Black students showed talent, they were told certain careers were just not for them. That this wasn't accidental, it was strategic. Your career path is not a coincidence, it's a calling. And if the world tries to push you away from something that might be the very thing you're meant to pursue, encourage the next generation to dream bigger than the limits that are placed on them. We should tell that and make sure we scream that at the top of our lungs to all our children, our neighbors, just anyone interested in going to college and pursuing any of those careers. We can do whatever we put our minds to, period. All right, on to our cause of the day. Now, our cause of the day is, I'm going to get this, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS, P-O-T-S. It's a disorder of the atomic nervous system that causes an abnormal heart rate increase when you're standing up, upon standing. It's a form of diasthonia, where blood flow doesn't properly return to the heart and brain when standing, which causes dizziness and a rapid heartbeat. So symptoms are lightheadedness or fainting when standing, a rapid heartbeat, increase of 30 BPM within 10 minutes of standing, brain fog, fatigue, headaches, nausea, exercise intolerance, and purple discoloration of the hands and feet when lowered. There is no prevention. Management includes staying hydrated, increased salt intake under a medical guidance, compression garments, and physical therapy. This is a rare. It's pretty rare, as it says on here. And if you want more information and to know how to actually pronounce it correctly, you can go to the internet and put in John Hopkins POTS, P-O-T-S program to get more information on that. All right, today in history, in 1610, Galileo discovers Jupiter's moons, Io, Europa, and Ganymede, reshaping astronomy forever. In 1782, the Bank of North America opens, becoming the first U.S. commercial bank. In 1894, Fred Ott's Sneeze is filmed, one of the earliest motion pictures in history. And in 1979, Pol Pot is overthrown as Vietnamese forces capture Phnom Penh. All right, in African American history, in 1955, we have Marian Anderson performs at the Metropolitan Opera. Anderson becomes the first Black singer to perform with the Met Opera, breaking one of the highest racial barriers in classical music. In 1891, Zora Neale Hurston is born. The legendary author, anthropologist, and Harlem Renaissance figure is born in Alabama, later shaping Black literature with Their Eyes Were Watching God. And in 1969, best year ever, I might add, Shirley Chisholm announces her presidential exploratory committee. 3 years before her historic run, Chisholm signals her intention to challenge the political system and represent marginalized communities. All right, on to our scientists and inventors. First up, we have Dr. Charles Drew. Drew developed the first large-scale blood plasma storage system, transforming emergency medicine and saving soldiers during World War II. Next up, we have Valerie Thomas. Thomas invented the illusion transmitter, NASA technology that laid the groundwork for modern 3D imaging and medical visualization. And last, we have Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, a viral immunologist whose research helped develop the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine, making her one of the most influential scientists of the 21st century. All right, back on to our Back to Roots segment today, where we have 3 different topics. First up, the Zulu creation story of Unkulu Nuku. In Zulu tradition, Ukulu Nuku is the first ancestor and creator of humanity. He emerged from reeds and shaped people, animals, and the natural world. Humanity and nature are born from the same source. 2, second up, we have Ibu. Ibu concept of chi, or personal spirit. In Ibu spirituality of Nigeria, your chi is your personal divine spark, your spiritual twin. It guides your destiny and walks with you through life. Your chi is your compass. Honor its direction. And 3, African drum as spiritual communicator. Across Africa, drums are not instruments, they are voices. They call ancestors, signal community events, transmit messages, and shift spiritual energy. Rhythm is a language older than words. All right, on to our fact or fiction. All right, first up, we have the Taurid Mystery Man, the legend. Of course, we're still in strange stories for the week. So this is another one. The legend, in 1954, a bearded Caucasian man arrived at Haneda Airport in Tokyo. When asked where he was from, he points to the border of France and Spain on a map and says, Taurid, a country he claims has existed for 1,000 years. He is detained in a high security hotel room while customs officers investigate, only to vanish overnight from a room with no balcony and guarded doors. The story is a Mandela effect evolution of a real 1959 and 1960 criminal case involving a man named John Allen Kuar Zugus. Zugus was a high-level fraudster who traveled the world using high-quality fake passport from T. Reed, his own invention. He was arrested in Tokyo for cashing phony checks. He did not vanish into another dimension. He was sentenced to a year in prison. Over decades of retelling the story, his story was moved to 1954 and given a supernatural ending. So this story is, yes, fiction, and it has no historical evidence. Second story, the Dyatlov Pass radiation angle. The legend, in 1959, 9 experienced Soviet hikers died under terrifying circumstances in the Ural Mountains. They cut their way out of their tent and fled into the sub-zero night without boots. While theories range from Yetis to military weapons, The radiation angle is often cited as the smoking gun for a government cover-up, but radioactive traces were found on their clothes. So the reality, there was radiation, but the explanation is more mundane than secret weapons. One of the hikers worked at J.A.B 40, a nuclear facility that had experienced a major leak, or the Kickstart disaster, just 2 years prior. He had been involved in the cleanup, which likely contaminated his gear. So the modern consensus is in 1921, a study published in Nature used computer modeling to prove that a rare slab avalanche likely struck the tent, causing the hikers internal injuries and forcing their panicked barefoot escape into the cold, where hypothermia finished them off. So the verdict of this story is that, yes, indeed, it is fact. Radiation was present, the cause unrelated to the deaths. And third story, the Black Knight satellite legend. An ancient 13,000-year-old alien satellite is currently in polar orbit around the Earth, monitoring humanity. This is the legend. Proponents point to mysterious signals heard by Nikola Tesla in 1899 and famous NASA photos from 1998 showing a jagged, dark object floating in space. The reality, the Black Knight is a Franken myth created by stitching together several unrelated events, such as the 1899 signals. Tesla likely heard pulsars or spinning stars or natural atmospheric interference. In 1960, the dark object, this was later identified as a piece of a casing from an Air Force Discoverer 8 satellite. And in 1998, the NASA photos, this is the most famous evidence, but the object was actually a thermal blanket lost by astronaut Jerry Ross during a spacewalk in the International Space Station. It eventually re-entered the atmosphere and burnt up. So this story is fiction. No scientific evidence of an ancient satellite. When I look up these stories, I'm just so amazed that some of them sound so true, but then I always get they're fiction. So I wonder. I have to do some more research on these though. All right, on to our what's the word. Yesterday's reading, we're reading the Bible in a year. And yesterday's scriptures were Genesis chapters 4-6 and Matthew chapter 2. So in Genesis 4, we learned Cain kills Abel, God marks Cain, and humanity spreads. In Genesis 5, we learn genealogy from Adam to Noah, highlighting long lifespans and a line of promise. In Genesis 6, human weaknesses increases and God announces judgment. Noah finds favor. Chapter 2 of Matthew, wise men visit Jesus. Herod plots to kill him. Joseph flees with Mary and Jesus to Egypt. Herod's massacre fulfills prophecy, and the family returns to Nazareth. God protects his promise despite human evil. So our question, who found favor with God in Genesis 6? The answer, it was Noah. So tomorrow for we'll keep going. Our scripture reading will be Genesis 7, chapter 7-9, and Matthew chapter 3. All right, on to our tech tip of the day, which is secure your machine identities, not just your passwords. Machine identities, or API keys, service accounts, and bots are predicted to become the top cloud breach vector in 2026. So what is it? Machine identities are digital credentials used by apps and automations, and they often have more access than humans. So how do we use this? Rotate your API keys regularly. Delete old and unused app connections, and use a password manager or cloud dashboard to track all machine credentials. Restrict permissions to minimum necessary. So why do we do this? Hackers target machine identities because they bypass human MFA and often go unnoticed. Securing them closes one of the biggest blind spots in modern cybersecurity. All right, on to our finance tip of the day, which is lock in today's higher yields before the rates drop. Interest rates are expected to fall through 2026, meaning today's high yield savings and CDs may not last. As the Federal Reserve continues easing, short-term yields and saving rates will decline. Locking in a rate now protects your earnings. So how do we do this? Open a high yield savings account while rates are still elevated. Consider a 12 to 24 month CD to secure current yields and move idle cash from checking into interest-bearing accounts. Why? Once rates fall, new accounts will earn less. Fidelity notes that today's best cash yields may not last as the easing cycle still continues. All right, on to our fun fact of the day. Our fun fact is Saturn now has 274 moons, nearly double its previous count. So the fact, in 2025, astronomers confirmed 128 new moons around Saturn, bringing its total to 274, the most of any planet in our solar system. These tiny moons were detected using advanced telescopes and imaging techniques that can track faint, fasting objects. So why does this matter? Understanding Saturn's moons helps the scientists study how planets form, how gravity shapes solar systems, and what conditions might support life. All right, on to our fun holiday of today. Our fun holiday today is Old Rock Day. Old Rock Day celebrates rocks, fossils, minerals, and geological history of Earth. It's a day to appreciate the ancient materials beneath our feet, from gemstones to fossils that reveal the story of life millions of years ago. Studying rocks helps scientists understand Earth's climate history, natural resources, and the evolution of life. It also encourages curiosity in geology, archaeology, and environmental science. All right, on to our daily quote. And our daily quote today comes from Miss Maya Angelou. And I quote, "Nothing will work unless you do," end quote. Dr. Angelou delivers a timeless truth. Dreams don't activate themselves. Effort is the engine. This quote is about responsibility and empowerment. You can have the vision, the plan, the talent, and the opportunity, but without action, nothing moves. Maya Angelou reminds us that success is a partnership between faith and work. You show up and the universe meets you there. All right, on to our music and entertainment. Michael Jackson biopic Michael set for a major 2026 release. According to The Root and ABC News, the highly anticipated Michael Jackson biopic titled Michael is officially set to hit theaters on April 24th, 2026. The film stars Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, alongside powerhouse actors Coleman Domingo and Nia Long. This is shaping up to be one of the biggest cultural releases of the year, with Black creators leading both in front of and behind the camera. The film is expected to spark global conversation and renewed appreciation for MJ's legacy. All right, in celebrity gossip, we got Tiana Taylor and Aaron Pierre reportedly split. After months of public affection and red carpet appearances, Tiana Taylor and actor Aaron Pierre have reportedly ended their relationship. Fans were shocked. The couple had been posting sweet moments all year. Now everyone wants to know what caused the sudden breakup. All right, in our celebrity birthdays, we have a few birthdays today. So first up, we got Blue Ivy. She's 13 today. We have Robert Richard. He's 42. He was an actor known for One-on-One and Coach Carter. We also have Lamar Tate. He's 56. He's an actor and producer and also the brother of actor Lorenz Tate. We have Aloe Black, who's 47 years old, singer-songwriter known for I Need a Dollar and Wake Me Up. Also, there's Marcus Scribner, 25 years old. He's the actor best known for Blackish. There's also Stephen Williams, who is an actor in films and on TV. He is 77. We got Dougie Doug, comedian and actor. He's 56. We got Vibes Cartel, who turned 50 today. He's a Jamaican musical artist, record producer, and entrepreneur and dance hall performer. Also, we have rest in heaven birthdays going out to Thelma Butterfly McQueen, was an American actress, originally a dancer. McQueen first appeared in film in 1939 as Prissy Scarlett O'Hara's maid in the film Gone with the Wind. And also, we have Zora Neale Hurston, was an American author, anthropologist, and filmmaker. She portrayed racial struggles in the early 1900s American South and published research on hoodoo. The most popular of her 4 novels is Their Eyes Were Watching God, published in 1937. She also wrote more than 50 short stories, plays, and essays. All right, on to our lifestyle segment, where our soul food recipe of the day is honey butter cornbread muffins and paired with cinnamon vanilla latte. That sounds cozy for this cold morning. All right, men, your health tip of the day is add a daily multivitamin. It supports immune health and fills nutrient gaps. Men, your fashion tip of the day is upgrade your belt. A clean leather belt sharpens your entire look. Women, scalp care day. Use a light oil or serum to nourish the scalp and reduce dryness. Your fashion tip of the day is the knee-high boots, a winter staple that instantly elevates any dress, pair of jeans, or leggings. I love me some knee-high boots. All right, our household chore of the day is wipe down light switches and door handles. Tough areas collect germs. Quick disinfecting goes a long way. And women, our auto mechanics 101 tip of the day is check your oil levels. Pull the dipstick, wipe, reinsert, check the levels. It prevents engine damage. So make sure, especially since it's cold, check that oil. Don't wait for the oil light to come on either. Relationship tips for couples: do one small act of service. It speaks volumes. In friendships, celebrate a friend's recent win, big or small. In family, ask a family member how their week is going and listen. All right. Before they were legends. Up today is Gordon Sparks, the lens that told the truth. Before he became the first Black director at a major studio directing the 1971 hit Shaft, Gordon Parks was a self-taught photographer who used his camera to expose poverty, racism, and injustice. He was the first African-American staff photographer for Life magazine. He didn't just take pictures, he captured power. All right, on to our daily horoscopes, where today we focus on money energy. So first up, we got Aries. You're ready to make moves. Just avoid rushing into anything long term. Your money energy today is strong. Great day to follow up on opportunities. Don't overspend. Your lucky numbers today are 2, 14, and 27. Taurus, you're thinking long game, not quick wins. And that's your power today. Your money energy today is steady. Ideal day to review savings and automatic transfers. Your lucky numbers today are 5, 18, and 29. Gemini, conversations around money may pop up. Stay curious, not defensive. Your money energy today is excellent. Networking or side gig ideas can turn profitable. Your lucky numbers today are 7, 12, and 33. Cancer, security is on your mind. You want firm ground under your feet. Your money energy today is moderate. Focus on budgeting and trimming unnecessary costs. Your lucky numbers today are 3, 11, and 26. Leo, you're tempted to treat yourself more than your wallet might like. More money energy, high potential, but watch impulse buys. Channel confidence into negotiation instead. Your lucky numbers today are 1, 19, and 30. Virgo, you're in analyst mode. Your receipts, statements, and plans need your eye. Your money energy today is strong, perfect for checking accounts, correcting errors, and reworking a plan. Your lucky numbers today are 4, 16, and 28. Libra, shared money, shared decisions. Talk it out. Don't assume. Your money energy today is good. Joint financial conversations can go surprisingly smoothly. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 15, and 24. Scorpio, you're sensing hidden opportunities or hidden risk. Both matter. Your money energy today is excellent. Trust your instincts on contracts, investments, and offers. Your lucky numbers today are 8, 20, and 31. Sagittarius, you're optimistic about money, but optimism needs a plan. Your money energy is good today. Small, smart risk favored. Avoid all or nothing bets. Your lucky numbers today are 10, 23, and 34. Capricorn, you're in your element. Structure, discipline, and strategy. Your money energy today is excellent. Great for planning retirement, investments, or debt payoff strategies. Your lucky numbers today are 13, 25, and 35. Aquarius, your unique approach can solve a financial problem differently than most. But your money energy today is strong. Innovative ideas and digital income streams favored. Your lucky numbers today are 9, 17, and 32. Pisces, your emotions may tempt you to comfort spend. Your money energy today is steady. Pause before purchases, especially emotional ones. Your lucky numbers today are 6, 21, and 33. At this time, I would like to say thank you to our sponsors. I would like to give a shout out to Bello Burn Hot Sauce, Bold Taste, Big Kit. Bello Burn keeps the city spicy. RAS Herbals, natural remedies, real results. RAS Herbals keeps the community grounded. And Calorane Candles, soft light, strong energy. Calorane Candles elevates every space. And Universal Madness, style with a statement. Universal Madness keeps the culture fitted. In announcements, we have make sure you watch tonight for Women Unscripted at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, we made it through the middle of the week, y'all. So take a breath, unclench your shoulders, and give yourself credit for showing up. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just quiet and steady. Rest well tonight. We'll be back here tomorrow. So this is your girl, Mell B, saying stay fly, stay grounded in your truth, and don't let nobody, no matter what, tilt your crown. See you tomorrow. Period.